So, question number one. Which was the first gig you ever performed?
As Zonderling, it was at a festival in Belgium. It was called Replay Festival in near Antwerp, and I remember that there was a drum and bass guy from the UK performing before me in a small tent, and it was like he was smashing it, and it was crowded and super busy, and then I had to play Zonderling music, which was like really big difference, and a lot of people left, but my brother was there with his friends, so it was funny. And also, what I realized was that after I was done playing, some people were saying like, "Hey, why didn't you play this song? Why didn't you play this song by Zonderling?" And I was like, "Oh right, I have to obviously play Zonderling songs more." So yeah, I'll not forget that one. How much time did your first song take? That's one for you.
Yeah. So the first song that actually got a release was Zonderling with an S, and it took pretty much one night on a laptop and really shitty earbuds. So yeah, just one night. And I wasn't used to that because before that I used to take forever to write tunes. But first official Zonderling track was done really, really quickly.
Was that 2011? 12?
Yeah, that's when it was. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What's your process for the initial ideas for sound design or melody or drums? How do you go about building these out?
So yeah, very misleading answer, I suppose. It's different every time, but I would say if there's a vocal idea that we got from someone, then it's quite obviously the start of the song then, and we'll usually add or try to change the chords or change the vibe of the track to make it more Zonderling. So that then it starts with the chords and a little bit of sound design. If it's an instrumental track, it's all sound design, and then usually, I mean, it's been a while, but there was a time when there were a lot of quirky, weird melodies in Zonderling tracks. It used to start with like a basic melody, then chords that supported the melody, and then rewrite the melody again on top of those chords. So it was a melody that you wouldn't just come up with, but it would complement the chord progression. So I can probably start doing that again. It was a lot of fun. Watch this space.
When will you play in Poland? We're coming back in August, so that's all I can say.
Be patient.
Be patient. Yeah. And yeah, all over Europe and wherever. So, but Poland in August. Do we listen to the radio? And what kind of music do we like?
I actually listen to the radio quite a lot, but mostly in the car. And we live in Holland, so we listen to Dutch radio. I do. Radio 538 and Slam are my favorite stations to tune into. And other than that, I listen to a lot of music professionally. So that's most of the times it's enough. If I need to listen to music for relaxation purposes, I listen to classical piano music mostly.
Same, partially. but I don't listen to any radio, not at all. I listen to a lot of Spotify playlists, and the music that I really like to listen to is actually you can find most of it in a playlist that we have on Spotify called the Comfort Zone. It has like classical piano music, soundtracks, but even stuff by guys like What's So Not, but also Bon Iver and James Blake. That's the kind of music that. There's even some Justin Bieber in there, by the way, and The Weeknd, stuff like that. Yeah, check it out. What are your favorite DJs or producers? I'd say.
Yeah, my favorite producer probably overall would be Stefan Botzin. Not a very well-known name in the commercial part of the EDM industry, but a lot of producers have heard of him, and just great music. Check it out. And a name that a lot of people will have heard of that I appreciate a lot is the music by Brooks, which is also, I think, his Instagram handle, Music by Brooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice.
Yours?
For me, I'm a big fan of the German French sounds like Daft Punk, Gesaffelstein, Justice, but also guys like Porter Robinson and Calvin Harris. I really like. So yeah, a little bit in that direction, niche, left field. How do you get inspiration while producing? Especially when you get stuck or have a writer's block?
Yeah, that's a good question. Inspiration usually comes from something, just a melody that pops up in my head, or an idea that I like, some track in another genre on the radio, or that I hear on the streets even, can trigger an idea to try that within the Zonderling realm, or a vocal demo that we get can trigger a lot of ideas. But then when there's no ideas, that's what you call a writer's block. It's generally a good idea to just do other stuff. In my case, at least, I do a lot of other projects, and by switching it up, you get renewed energy to write music for a specific project. There's usually like waves of Zonderling music that in some periods of time there's just not a lot of output in the studio, and then in certain other periods there's a lot of Zonderling music being made, and I think you just gotta let it be. You cannot force it too much, unless there's like a remix request or something. That's generally a little bit easier because there's already a lot of proven stuff there that you can start off. So how did you link up together? Groningen.
Tinder.
Yeah, that was. I think Tinder existed, but
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
I
already.
wasn't aware.
How long do we know each other now? I don't know.
Quite a while. Since before Tinder.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we already knew each other from the local scene here.
Yep.
And then I remember we had I was already DJing. I now DJ for 20 years. And you were making music and DJing as well. And I remember that at a party downtown, we once spoke about you wanting to make music and then me being the DJ.
Mm-hmm. That was before Zonderling existed.
Yeah. Long time ago.
Then I started messing around with like some techno type of music, and after about 3 tunes, I really didn't feel inspired anymore. And I wanted to do something a bit more accessible, and I think I needed to have someone with me in a group to make it worth the concept of making that music, so that it could be played somewhere instead of just me making it in my studio as a side project thing. So I thought Jaap was a very good companion for that, and luckily he said yes. So then we started to do Zonderling at a more professional level, and that's been 6 years now. Or?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah.
Was it?
So
yeah,
quite a while. When was the last time you enjoyed a show as a raver? Ooh. It's probably not. It's not been too long since you went to something.
Oh well, at like an actual proper party was 2 weeks ago, or was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, here downtown Groningen, where Sonny Skrillex did a spontaneous set with Thijs from Noisia, which was super sick. Like 3 hours, small venue, dark. Yeah, just awesome.
Nice. I wasn't around, unfortunately. I have not been to a lot of raves recently. I do still play some shows as Noisia, so that's being at raves, but not as a raver. I try to join Jaap for shows sometimes where I don't actually do anything, so I that sort of counts as being a raver. I get to have some drinks and enjoy the vibe. So I suppose that would be that could qualify as a rave.
En af en toe even naar de negende cirkel.